The last time we saw these notorious glam rockers from LA, they were headlining stadiums across the country. This year marks their 45th anniversary, and this summer they will embark on the return of the Carnival of Sins tour to celebrate this milestone. If you haven't guessed by now, we're talking about Motley Crue. And on this episode of Debating Metal, we're giving you our version of Motley Crue's greatest hits. Welcome back, everyone, to Debating Metal. I'm your host, Kenneth Dean, the Dean of Metal. I'm joined by my co-host, the everlasting Chris K. Tonight, we're bringing you Motley Crue's greatest hits.
Few bands live up to the nickname of the bad boys of rock and roll like Motley Crue. They can be described as divisive and controversial, but also trend-setting and classic. They used to play stadiums. Now you're more likely to hear them in every strip club across the country. Kenneth and I are going to choose 15 songs from their 9-album catalog, and whichever songs are duplicated automatically make it to our final list. Whichever songs are not duplicated will be debated to see which make the final cut. We'll then arrange them in concert setlist order for the ultimate Motley Crue greatest hits.
Then from there, we'll give you our big four Motley Crue side projects. So sit back, relax, turn it up to 11, and let the debate begin. Okay, Chris, so we're doing Motley Crue's greatest hits. I mean, it's funny because, you and I were talking about greatest hits albums, and, I know you like Worst to First, and I like greatest hits. Those are kind of my favorites, and Worst to First is your favorite way of doing the show. And we had done, I believe, a Worst to First of Motley Crue, but we never did a greatest hits. And this is the time to do it. They're getting ready for this summer tour, and I think this is a perfect opportunity to bring this episode to life.
They're an interesting band because I enjoy a lot of their music, but at the same time, it's not the majority of it, right? Like I like a lot of their biggest hits, and they have some great songs. Not as big a fan as their later career. And then as people, it's hard to really like them that much, but I always like to separate the art from the artist and try to enjoy as much as I can. So
Yeah, I mean they're definitely, a big word that goes around in today's environment is divisive. And they are divisive for completely different reasons than why other people currently are divisive. They're just, for a long time, they were, I mean, it's hard to call it anything other than they weren't nice people. They really were scumbags. And probably the least of them being scumbag was Mick Mars.
Mhm.
But really, I mean, Nikki, a heroin addict for however many years. Tommy was an addict and just a out of control madman. And
Sleazy dude.
Vince was a drunk, and somehow every time he went into a bar, he punched a lady in the face. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? And then of course the whole thing that happened with Razzle from Hanoi Rocks. So it's crazy how they, like you mentioned in the intro, how they live up to the nickname "Bad Boys of Rock and Roll." They really do, and I mean, obviously now they're much more tame. I mean, you don't hear anything from Tommy Lee. You hear more about the fact that most recently, Vince Neil had a stroke last year, and I'm glad he's doing well. In just because, but still, they're a strange band, like you said. And so you have to, like you said, separate the art from the artist and just go from there. So I do. I like Motley Crue. I've been a fan of theirs. Although the last time I did see them in concert was 1989.
Mm,
I saw them on the Dr. Feelgood tour. Haven't really felt the need to see them since. So I think
that's
that was
fair.
their ultimate tour. So
Yeah, that's fair.
So, all right. As Chris explained in the intro, we're going to pick 15 songs each from Motley Crue's catalog. It doesn't have to necessarily be from their 9 albums. They do have some singles. They do have some songs that were released on their greatest hits albums. So any song that basically Motley Crue wrote. Um, and even some that they didn't write, because there are a couple songs of theirs that are really big hits of theirs that are not necessarily their original tracks. So, 15 songs each from their catalog, and then whichever ones are duplicated will make the final cut automatically. Then we debate the ones that we need to fill in the spaces. The way the rounds work is that the first round is going to be songs that we want to keep from our own list, and then the second round is a song that we were willing to part with from our own list. Then round three, if we get there, is we pick a song from our uh, the other person's list to keep. Round four is the other person's list to remove from. So if we get that far, I have a feeling we're not going to get that far, but if we do, then we keep going until we fill out all the spaces. All right. So, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first in announcing the songs that we've chosen?
Um, yeah, you can go ahead and go first.
Okay, I'll go first. All right. So my 15 songs is no particular order, but it usually ends up being in chronological to some degree. Um, so here we go. Number one for me is Live Wire from Too Fast for Love. Piece of Action. Number two from Too Fast for Love. Number three, Shout at the Devil. Number four, Looks That Kill. Number five, Too Young to Fall in Love, all from Shout at the Devil. Number six, Smoking in the Boys' Room. Number seven, Louder Than Hell. Number eight, Home Sweet Home. All of those are from Theater of Pain. Number nine, Wild Side. Number 10, Girls, Girls, Girls from Girls, Girls, Girls. And number 11, Dr. Feelgood. Number 12, Kickstart My Heart. Number 13, Same Old Situation. All of those are from Dr. Feelgood. Then number 14, it's Primal Scream from Decade of Decadence. And number 15, Saints of Los Angeles from Saints of Los Angeles.
All right. Well, we've got a pretty fair amount of crossover. Looks like we did not match on 4 songs.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. So I've got Livewire, Take Me to the Top, and Piece of Your Action, and Too Fast for Love, all from Too Fast for Love. Shout at the Devil, Looks the Kill, Too Young to Fall in Love, and Knock 'em Dead Kid from Shout at the Devil. So Home Sweet Home and Use It or Lose It from Theater of Pain. Wild Side and Girls, Girls, Girls from Girls, Girls, Girls. Dr. Feelgood and Kickstart My Heart from Dr. Feelgood. And Saints of Los Angeles from Saints of Los Angeles.
Well, your list is definitely something I wasn't expecting. Some of the songs that you picked on here, I wasn't expecting. A couple of them I did expect from you. So I was like waiting for it. However, we only have 4 spots left. So we had 11 songs that crossed over. We got 4 openings, and now we have to debate which songs are that we're going to go ahead and keep and get rid of. Not a lot. There's a difference of, I mean, you got 4, I got 4. So we got 8 songs for 4 spots.
Yeah, it's a bit more than we would usually cross over. It's kind of a sign of what their greatest hits are, because I mean, a lot of these songs are so iconic, and I mean they're that way for a reason. They're just really good tracks. And so I think there is always going to be people that say, well, I like this more than this. And even like our show, a friend of the show, Matt, who did our worst to first with us. I'm sure he has some different opinions because he likes like the John Corabi album and stuff like that too. So, and we're very eclectic in our choices for things too, because like we've talked about other bands where I like the later years of a band, even though that's not the most popular stuff or whatever. But I mean, I think Motley Crue is just one of those, like their first few albums are just so solid. that it's hard not to choose a lot of stuff from those albums.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could tell from what we've picked that there's a lot of stuff from early on. But I got to say, I mean, I'm not trying to knock not Motley Crue in this particular case, but they really haven't done very good music for a long time. Saints of Los Angeles, I think, came out in 2008. Okay, and that's quite a while for a for them
It's a
not
mi-
releasing new
it's a
music.
minute. It's been a minute.
Minutes. Eh, but it's still. I mean, it was a pretty well. Let me put this: the album's not that great overall, but "Saints of Los Angeles" is a pretty damn good song. So, as evidenced by the fact that we both have it on our list.
I agree. It's the album itself is a tough listen, but your mileage may vary.
Mileage may vary. All right. Okay, so now it's time to pick a song from our list that we want to keep. So, granted, at this point we have two spots to fill, and so what it's going to come down to is, I mean, excuse me, we have four spots to fill. So, what's going to come down to is after we get to the through the second round, um, there's going to be two spots left, and each of us will have a turn to pick from the other person's list. So that's going to be problematic because the last one is going to be the last spot. So when you or I pick that song from the other person's list, it's going to be the last spot to fill.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think there's going to be, quote unquote, a lot of debate about that. But because it's basically your choice or my choice, depending on what what songs are left.
Mhm.
So I'm going to go ahead, since I read off my stuff first. You can go ahead and pick a song off your list that you want to keep first.
Okay. I'm gonna pick "Knock 'Em Dead, Kid." I think it's a great song. Big fan of that one, so I definitely want to keep that one.
All right, so you're picking "Knock 'Em Dead, Kid." All right, well, if you're gonna pick "Knock 'Em Dead, Kid," I mean, we're gonna have to go straight for the throat on these songs because otherwise, we're gonna have an Alter Bridge situation on our hand, and we don't want that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go straight for "Primal Scream."
Oh wow! Okay, I'm
I
actually
love that song.
surprised.
I love that song. I think that song is great.
It's I didn't really get into it. I did listen to it. I've said on many episodes I do listen to the entire discography. I was a little more lax with this one because I know the first two albums really well, so I didn't listen to them in preparation. Didn't feel like I had to. But then I did listen to a lot of the later stuff to really give it a chance. You see what I picked.
All right, so you're surprised by that. Okay, I mean, I get that. It's just a song I really, really enjoy. Ever since I first heard it, I mean, just the whole way that the song intros, where it's that snare drum and bass drum snap, and
Yeah.
it just goes into the song from there. I mean, it's a really cool song. Um, and it was slightly different. I mean, it was, to me, it almost sounded like an extension of Dr. Feelgood, because it was obviously produced and recorded by Bob Rock, but there still was something, a different feel to that song than other songs. And you did make mention earlier that we didn't pick anything from the John Corabi album. Now, obviously, we didn't pick anything from the John Corabi album. We didn't pick anything from Generation Swine. We didn't pick anything from what was the other one? New Tattoo. Um, I'm going to put it this way. I know that this episode, Matt is going to listen to very intently to what we pick. Um, but Matt, as much as this whole episode is dedicated to you, those albums suck. Okay, and that's just the way I'm going to say it. Okay, New Tattoo sucks. Generation Swine, slightly better, sucks. Okay. The Motley Crue self-titled album with John Corabi. I like Hooligan's Holiday. You have several songs that you like on that album, but it, in my opinion, sucks. Sounds great. I'll tell you that much. Sounds awesome because Bob Rock did it. Um, and like we said before, Saints of Los Angeles, not a great album, but Saints is a pretty good song. And then all the other songs that they've done since then, all the singles like that they did for the Dirt the movie, and a couple of things that they came out with afterward. What was one of them? God, it was
Well,
just fucking terrible.
I mean, I will say that song, the Dirt, actually is kind of catchy.
Eh.
It is. It gets stuck in your head.
Hopefully, I could knock it out of my ear.
Oh
You know.
my god.
I'm not a fan. Sorry. But anyway, I am a fan of these songs. So, all right, we have 2 spots left. But right now, round 2 is picking a song off our list that we're willing to drop. So that leaves us each with 3 songs on our list, and we're gonna have to pick a song to drop.
All right. Well,
So you have Take Me to the Top, Use It or Lose It, and Too Fast for Love.
I'm gonna drop Use It or Lose It.
Use It or Lose It is going down the tubes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I have to pick from Smoking in the Boys Room, Louder Than Hell, and Same Old Situation. So here's what I'm looking at here. We have currently 2 songs from Too Fast for Love. We currently have 4 songs from Shout at the Devil. Oh, 1 song from excuse me, 1 song from Theater of Pain, 2 songs from Girls, 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 and 2 songs from Dr. Feelgood. So we're heavy on Shout at the Devil. So luckily I don't have anything from Shout at the Devil that's not on this list. But I do have 2 songs from Theater of Pain, and you mentioned that because I like Louder Than Hell, that I actually like that album more than you, which is true. You know, I mean, when that album came out, I mean, I listened to the crap out of it. I mean, I know all those songs. So the fact that you chose Use It or Lose It, that's a pretty cool song. That was an alternate, on my list. I think I had 20 songs when I had to narrow this down. And Use It or Lose It was one of them. And then same thing, there was a couple of songs from Dr. Feelgood that could have been on this list, and one of them I chose was Same Old Situation. So, but I think one thing that we have done in the past is we've gotten rid of the cover songs, even though some of those cover songs are defining to the band. But in this particular case, I think Motley Crue's got enough strong material that they can deal without Smoking in the Boys Room.
I think it's fair. I mean, it's an iconic song for them, but that was kind of my mentality too. Was like we've never really done covers, but it is so closely associated with them that it didn't bother me that it was listed there, but that's fair.
Okay. So now you have 2 songs, Take Me to the Top and Too Fast for Love, that are left on your list that I got to pick from. So that is going to mean automatically I have to put a song on from Too Fast for Love album. Okay. Okay. You see that you left me no alternative, Chris. No alternative.
Okay.
I don't know about that. I don't like having a gun to my head, having to pick a song from Too Fast for Love.
It could be worse. It could be
it could be worse. I might have to pick a song off of Generation Swine.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could have made you choose between Generation Swine. That was actually literally what I was gonna say.
I think New Team was worse.
I was gonna make you pick Brandon
or you know what's terrible about
or Glitter.
You know what's terrible about that part is I have a son named Brandon.
Yeah.
And that if like that was on there and I had to pick between those two, I had no choice. I have to pick Brandon if that was the option.
Oof.
Um,
It's such a
and
bad song.
this is it. Unfortunately, my son is a good kid,
with with with
but man, that
lyrics
song is terrible.
with lyrics like "Brandon, you are my son," and
That's obvious,
"You
Captain
came from your
Obviously.
mother
No shit.
with love."
Yeah, that was bad.
You,
All right.
Brandon, you are the one. I was like, feel bad for the other kid, Brandon's the one, not the other kid.
I know, right? Wasn't the Van Halen song about Wolfie like an instrumental?
Something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
like, why can't he
do
do that?
that.
All right. So I'm going to all right, because I know you like the song. I'm going to go ahead and pick from your list. Excuse me, Too Fast for Love.
Okay. All right. That means we lose Take Me to the Top. That's that's okay. It's okay. I'll survive.
Yep, you will. So, all right, so now that leaves Louder Than Hell and Same Old Situation for you to pick from.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with Same Old Situation. I think it's such a big song for them. Like I to me it is one of those songs that is pretty iconic for the band. I had it kind of on my like larger list. I always write down every song that I think would possibly go there, and then you always end up with a couple extras, and that was on mine. So I think I'm gonna put it there.
All right. Well, that was like way easier than pulling teeth. I tell you that much.
For
I
sure.
just happened to fall into that kind of situation. Had it been, had it been an even number of songs in terms of total, it would have been much different. Or actually, if it had been an odd number of songs, in terms of what was left, it would have been different because then we would have gone into the round of picking something from the other person's list that we don't want to that we want to drop, and that would have been like what?
Mhm.
So, um, let's. Why don't you go ahead and read off what we got?
All right, so our list in chronological order. Obviously, we're going to put this in concert set list afterwards, but for chronological order, this is our list of 15 songs: Livewire, Piece of Your Action, Too Fast for Love, Shout at the Devil, Looks That Kill, Too Young to Fall in Love, Knock 'Em Dead Kid, Home Sweet Home, Wild Side, Girls, 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 Dr. Feelgood, Kickstart My Heart, Same Old Situation, Primal Scream, and Saints of Los Angeles.
That's quite the list. I mean, I tell you, I like Motley Crue. I like these songs a lot. So to have them all in one place, I mean, it's not bad. I'm not gonna lie. This is pretty cool. Now, we're going to put them in concert set list order. So the way we would imagine if we were to go to a Motley Crue concert, these are the 15 songs that we're going to hear. So now we're going to put it in the order that we think would be the best concert. So and then we're going to do the first 12 songs are going to comprise the main list or the main set list, and then the last three songs are going to comprise of the encore. So there's a strategy in how we lay this all out. So hopefully we don't have any fights.
We're going to fight.
Well, that's what Molly Crew likes to do. Except you're not a lady, so I can't punch you in the face.
Oh, damn it.
All right. So since you started the rounds, I'm going to go ahead and pick the first song.
Yes, sir.
Um, and what do I want to start this concert out with? Let's see. I really think in the case of the songs that are here, to me, there's only one song that really starts this show up. And in my opinion, that is Shout at the Devil.
Okay. I mean, that would be a cool start to a concert. You know, lights go out, music starts, you hear the drum beat and shout, shout. Yeah, that'd be a cool way to start a show.
Yeah, you have the little the little spoken word intro and all that stuff. So that way the band gets on stage and gets into into their spots,
Hmm.
and then
They
they go
hobble
into
out.
that. They hobble out, use a crutch. All right, so what do you got for the second song?
Let's see. Um, you know what? I'm gonna go with "Piece of Your Action" from Too Fast for Love.
Hmm, interesting.
Well, it kind of keeps the pace going. I mean, because "Shout at the Devil's" not exactly a fast song, but it you know, it has a good tempo to it. And you know, like first couple tracks, you usually try to keep that pace, that speed going. I think that's a good fit for there.
I mean, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So now I get to pick song number three. We've got a lot of songs to choose from still, a whole 13. um, so let's see. I think here would probably be a good place to put in. I'd say let's go with Looks That Kill. Let's pick up the pace a little bit.
Okay. So we've got two tracks from Shout at the Devil so far. We've got a ballad we've got to slot in somewhere. And we've got some iconic songs we want to keep for the encore, or at least for the end of the set list too. Um, you know, it is putting a lot of Shout at the Devil early, but you know, we've seen a lot of shows where they do that, where, um, you know, like when we saw Wasp, they stuck a lot of stuff from the early, or one of the early albums very early. I think it would be a good place to put Too Young to Fall in Love here.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, why not? So now we're in the first third of the concert. We're approaching, a little bit past the first third of the main set list, but the overall, we're at the end of the first third of the full concert. Song number 5 out of 15. Um, so this one's interesting. Um, to come out of too young to fall in love, because too young to fall in love, if you listen to the original, it fades out. So what is it that you put in that would um kind of work in this situation? And I don't know, but I'm thinking Wild Side here.
That works because it's like another energizing moment, you know? You just fade it out. You can turn the lights off again, and then bam, Wild Side. I think it'd be pretty cool. So we've still got a ballad. We don't want to get there quite yet, I don't think.
I don't think
Um,
so. That one's going to last a while.
yeah. So why don't we go with Primal Scream here? It's kind of a mid.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm thinking about how the same thing with Wild Side kind of, fades out. Dan and Dan, it has this whole, that it's got the whole horn section. Dan, 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 and then it's just fading, and then all of a sudden he's like boom, bah, and it goes into
Yeah.
drum screen. I like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that. All right. So Primal Scream is out now. All right, so we're almost at the halfway point, and we've got some good songs left. A lot of good songs. Um, I mean, yeah, it's obvious. A lot of good songs early in their career, but like they're obviously their most iconic ones, and the ones that really define them are coming up a little bit later. So I got there's a lot of options as far as the encore goes. And this is a tough one. This is gonna be really, I mean, these songs are getting less and less, and it's not a lot of spots for those encores. Um, what about what about Saints of Los Angeles?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good place for it. It's one of those songs that's going to be a little bit divisive, if because this is if you're looking at this in the list that we have, this is a legacy concert, right? Like this is not a mixture, you know. This is
Right.
all early albums, and the only example that's different is this song. So, 7 songs in gives you a chance to go to the bathroom if you're that much of a um jerk about new music. Well, we've been to how many concerts where there's fans that just refuse to try anything new. And
And it's so sad.
yeah.
I mean, there's times like, dude, when I went to see Kiss, like the third to last concert, and they played a song off of was it Monster? I think it was Monster. I think that was the last one. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? No, it wasn't even off of Monster. It was off of the other one, Sonic Boom. And it
Mhm,
wasn't even their best song off of Sonic Boom. I'm like, what the fuck, dudes?
mhm.
like, like, why? But that's what they picked, and you can't do it. So we're at the halfway point here. This is the song number 8. So what do you got that's gonna swing this concert?
All right, so we gotta bring everybody back from the bathroom. And it's funny because we do have some really interesting ways to do the encore. So no matter what we pick here, which is really the halfway point, it's like it's gonna be like somebody going, "What are you doing?" That's not what I would have done for the encore. Um, so we need something exciting here. We need something that reinvigorates the crowd. So I'm of two minds to go with one song or the other,
See, that's your
and
problem. You have two minds.
I have more than that. No, so I'm actually thinking this is a really good place for Kickstart My Heart.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know about that. Oh, that's a tough one. I may have to throw that veto in there.
That's fine.
I don't. Yeah, that's that one. Yeah. So, as a reminder to everybody who's listening out there, we are given, or we have given ourselves. We're not given. We have given ourselves two vetoes to pick a song. So when someone picks a song, and like in this situation, Chris has picked "Kickstart My Heart." The veto is to say one of two things: either pick another song, or I'm going to pick a song for you, or the other person is going to pick a song for to replace it. Um, the only reason why I'm not sold on that song, I really, really like this song. So, um, so what happens is if I pick a song to put in this spot, then you get to go again, kind of thing. Um,
Well, why don't you and this one, I'm just gonna request it. Why don't you let me pick the other song I was gonna go with then?
okay, go ahead and pick the other song that you were going to go with.
Alright, so I'm gonna go with Livewire.
Okay, I was looking at Livewire when you said "Kickstart My Heart," and I'm like, so yes, I'd rather see Livewire in this spot.
Alright.
Because as iconic as that song may be, it's really iconic to the hardcore fan. Okay, if you're talking to the average fan that knows Motley Crue, "Live Wire" is not a song that they're going to wish they heard at the end.
That's fair.
So I like that pick a lot better. Um, so man, we're getting to that nitty gritty. We have 4 songs left before the end of the main set. Um, how about we put in "Knock 'Em Dead Kid" here?
I think that works. Alright, so we've got how many songs? We got 4 songs before the No, 3
3.
songs
Mhm.
before the encore. All right. Let's do Too Fast for Love here.
Okay. All right. So you put Too Fast for Love in this situation. Now we got to start looking at what we're going to be doing for the encore. We got 2 songs left before the end of the show. So, or before the end of the main set. And what we've always done in the past is we try to put in a really, really good song in that spot to end the main set. Um, so I like um, the song before that in this particular case. Hmm. I haven't even fully imagined what the encore is.
I have a good idea, but I think there's only one song that fits here at number 11, but I'm gonna wait for your answer.
I'm gonna say Dr. Feelgood.
Really?
Yeah,
I was kind of thinking of that as the closer for the main set because it's such a like even
okay. I mean,
non fans of
if you
Motley
look at
Crue.
that, okay, so then if that's the case, then I would put for number 11, I would put Same Old Situation.
That's kind of what I was thinking. So I'm going to use my veto
Okay,
to
so I'll
put
put in
yeah,
Same Old Situation. We'll go here.
okay. So Dr. Feelgood ends up being the main closer.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so now I get to pick which song opens up the encore. So this is an interesting one. Um, I think this goes. This can only, in my opinion, this can only go one way, right? And in my opinion, I think "Home Sweet Home" should open the encore. What were you thinking?
I you know it I think that works. So are you thinking Kickstart My Heart last?
Yeah, and I think I like it last because of the lyrics. So you go "Home Sweet Home," right?
I think that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. So girls, 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 then Kickstart My Heart.
Right, because you see, "Girls, Girls, Girls" gets the whole place going nuts, right? And then you just hit that chord, and all of a sudden the
Yeah.
place just goes fucking bonkers.
Yeah, you can almost treat it like a second encore in a way, just to like the lights go out again, then that guitar riff starts and yeah, no, it's good. I kind of had to play it in my head for a second to, to hear it.
All right.
But I'm with you.
All right. You're with me.
Well, do you want to read our final set list order?
I do. I will do that right now. Okay. Um, Opening the show, song number 1, "Shout at the Devil," followed by "Piece of Your Action." Then we go into "Looks That Kill," followed by "Too Young to Fall in Love" at number 4. Then we have "Wild Side," followed by "Primal Scream," and then "The Saints of Los Angeles" at number 7. Number 8, "Live Wire," followed by "Knock 'em Dead Kid." Then comes "Too Fast for Love," "Same Old Situation." Then ending the main set is "Dr. Feelgood." Then opening the encore is "Home Sweet Home." Then "Girls, Girls, Girls," and then it's all followed up with, and the final kick-ass song of the night is "Kickstart My Heart."
I think that works really well. I mean, it starts off with a lot of "Shout at the Devil," which I think is definitely their biggest album. But then it goes into some of their more popular songs. I mean, not sorry. Let me rephrase that. It includes some of their more popular songs right there at the beginning. Then we've got like the more divisive stuff on this list. I think kind of in the middle, and then really leads them into a cool ending. So Dr. Feelgood being very iconic, and then that is a hell of a closer. I mean, a hell of a encore. So really, like I like this list a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, I dig it. Like, I would love to see this set. Like, you know how Iron Maiden alternates their set lists from classic to um latest album to
Yeah,
classic to latest album, and even then within the classics, they're playing different periods of time. This one is, I mean, other than Saints of Los Angeles, This one obviously totally incorporates the first 4 albums.
Yes.
And is it 4 or 5? 5. First 5 albums. And then you have Primal Scream and Saints of Los Angeles, which came out after that. But, like, the whole fact that Primal Scream is on Decade of Decadence, which is basically a greatest hits 81 to 91, that's like a perfect closer or perfect bookend. And then the only outcast would be Saints of Los Angeles, but that is such a classic Motley Crue style song that,
Mhm.
that's why it works so well. I love this. I mean, I think the fact that like when you're at a concert and you're waiting for them to come back onto stage, right? In a situation like this, like they still have these 3 iconic songs remaining. So which one is it going to be? Are they going to go full energy, or are they going to go full nostalgia, or what? And I think Home Sweet Home, just soon as that the like I can almost imagine a solo spotlight on Tommy Lee playing the drums, and
Mhm.
you know, or not the drums, the piano, excuse me. And he's playing the piano and he's going in town in there, and all of a sudden, he runs to get to the drums. The lights go on. He hits that drum fill, and boom, they're into Home Sweet Home. The place is going bonkers, right? And then you get to the end, and of course it's that sweet little silence that ends the song, and then you hear the motorcycle start, and Girls, Girls, Girls comes on. Oh my god, I'm just getting chills thinking about how cool that would be to go see. So
Yeah.
and then of course, like I said, at the end, you got you're being Girls, Girls, Girls. There's chicks dancing everywhere. They're going crazy, and then Mick, or if we were to see it with John Five, whoever goes into that riff. Oh my god, dude, that's cool.
No, in this fantasy version, it's still the original band.
It is definitely a fantasy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that brings us now to our big 4 for this evening. And the big 4 tonight is big 4 Motley Crue side projects. So this was one of these things, like we had already done a long time ago, Motley Crue songs. So that's our typical, go-to for the big 4. And then since it was a single band that we were talking about tonight, we really can't do a big 4 that, you know, brings in other bands and other items and other songs. So we had to do something that was Motley Crue related. We've done it for excuse me. We've done it for Iron Maiden. We've done it for Kiss. We've done it for Metallica. So now we're doing it for Motley Crue. This is side projects. So this is the way this is going to go down. There's only literally 8 or 9 side projects that we could actually account for when it comes to this. I think that's what I accounted for. I don't know if you found something extra, but we're picking what the best 4, in our opinion, is of those side projects. So since this is my brainchild on this one, why don't you go ahead and go first with your 4?
All right. So my number 4 is Rockstar Supernova, the TV show, not the album. I think the album kind of sucks, to be honest, but the TV show I remember watching with my family, and it finding it pretty entertaining, to be honest. And that was one that had like Jason Newsted, and I think it was gosh, who else was on that show?
I was about to go. Who's the drummer?
It was that would be Tommy Lee.
Oh, who's the guitar player?
I am trying to remember.
It wasn't Steve Stevens, was it?
No. All right. So it was Gilby Clark.
Ah, Gilby Clark. Yes.
Yes. So the eventual winner was this guy Lucas Rossi. Wasn't the biggest fan of him, but some of the people that were on it, it was like pretty interesting. And back then this was still a fairly new concept. I mean, obviously there was what was that show? American Idol and stuff like that. And that was my sister was a big fan of that. So we watched these kind of things together. And that was some fond memories. So yeah, that's my number 4. My number 3 is Vince Neil's Tattoo and Tequila. or Tattoos in Tequila. It was a cover album, and I remember that one pretty well too. He had some interesting choices as far as like songs he chose to cover, and for the most part, like Vince Neil's a kind of an acquired taste as far as his vocals go, but I think for the most part, he really picked some good songs that fit him, and it's a pretty nice cover album as a whole. My number two is Mick Mars' solo album that just came out a couple years ago, The Other Side of Mars. It's kind of a cheesy album title, but it also works really well because, of the situation, just like the pun there is clever, but also corny. But my number one is Vince Neil's Exposed, his first solo album. That was with Steve Stevens on it. He really killed it creating songs for Vince. And, it feels, of all the side projects, to me, it feels like the most Motley Crue. The funny thing is, like, I was joking with Kenneth before we started the show, where I said, like, thank you for making me listen to so much shit, because like there's so many bad side projects here, and I mean, if you like them, cool, whatever. But like I was laughing because I was like, the Carved in Stone, which is Vince Neil's second side project, I thought was just really lame. It's like industrial metal, and I was like, oh, John 5 had a shitty industrial metal album too, called Two, with Rob Halford. So
John 5 was on it? I didn't even realize John 5 was on that.
yeah, so yeah, it was screw you for making me listen to this. No, I'm kidding.
Alrighty.
It was a good reminder because I did actually really enjoy that first Vince Neil solo album. And then Mick Mars album I had not listened to at all. And I was like, this is actually kind of cool. He's got some good riffs here. So
Okay, so we have a little bit of crossover. I'll
okay.
say there's two. Um,
You picked two, really? No,
no.
I'm playing.
Okay, so for number four for me was Methods of Mayhem. Um, so the idea behind my big four was I'm going to pick one from every member. Okay.
Okay.
And so, because realistically, for the most part, they were all crappy side projects. Although I have an edge to one of them for a particular reason. So, Methods of Mayhem, that was Tommy Lee just wanting to do something different, and that was not Motley Crue related. And damn if it wasn't. So that was that's my number four. Number three for me is 6 a.m. I got to give it to Nikki Six in this particular case. Um, I mean, obviously, 6 a.m. was not as big or anywhere close to anything of Motley Crue. Um, However, they did have, I think, one hit single that was on rock radio charts and stuff like that. Um, maybe a couple, but it was there was some catchy stuff in there. Um, Again, does it live up to Motley Crue? No, not at all. Better than 58, better than Brides of Destruction. So I'll give them 6 a.m. for that one. Number two for me is one of the crossovers that we got, and that's Vince Neil's solo album Exposed. There are, I believe, a couple of singers that have left their bands, or a couple of artists that have left their bands, and when they made their solo album, you said to yourself, well, you see, they sound just like the band that they just left. Like Vince Neil's Exposed is like a Motley Crue album. Not that great, but then again, neither was a lot of shit that they came after this from Motley Crue. But put it this way: Exposed is better than Generation Swine and New Tattoo. I'll give you that much. You know, so I never heard. I tried. I didn't get as so far as to listening to Tattoos and Tequila, only because there's only so much I can listen to in a day that sucks. So
Wow. Okay.
I mean, dude, having to get through 58 and Brides of Destruction and all of
I think you just soured your taste by
yeah,
listening
that's
to it
what
in
it
the
was. I
wrong
mean,
the wrong order.
yeah, carved in stone. I was like, God damn.
Oh, it's bad.
So yeah, I mean, after coming off of Exposed, you're like, wow, maybe he can do something. And ooh, yeah. That's what happens when other people are not there to help you write songs. So um anyhow, number one for me is The Other Side of Mars. And the reason I picked the number one over Vince Neil's Exposed, is it better than Exposed? I think so, a little bit. It had some really catchy stuff. And when those singles came out, was it God, was it like 2 years ago now? Holy shit. Um, it was definitely one of those situations where it's like, oh, where they've been hiding this guy, you know, because unfortunately, we all knew what Mick's situation was. I mean, he has the the ailment, that he has. God, I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Ankylosing spondylitis.
That's how you pronounce it, ankylosing spondylitis. And it's unfortunate, but he has to. Um, he's very limited in what he can do, and so he was able to finally put this solo album together, and I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it was 2 years ago, 2024. So I'll give him that. There was some songs that I liked. I can't remember exactly what the singles were, because they don't have them broken down on the track listing here. But I just thought that was the best of all these side projects. So
Yeah, it's pretty good.
thank you.
I mean, I would definitely recommend for you, because you like covers and that stuff too. Check out Vince Neil's cover album. It's fun. It's not the best thing ever, but it is fun. Um, and I mean, obviously, I liked Exposed more than you did, but I think you put a sour taste in your mouth by listening to some of the
Oh,
worst
I
stuff
mean, I
first.
liked Exposed.
Yeah,
It was carved in stone. It's terrible.
it's really bad. It's really, really bad.
All right. Well, that's our big four Motley Crue side projects, and that's the end of this episode of Debating Metal. Remember, if you like what you heard, click like or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so that you don't miss an episode.
And don't forget you can interact with us on Facebook, Instagram, and on X, or send us an email to debatingmetal@gmail.com. YouTube viewers, click subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when we post a new show. And remember, tune into the next episode where we'll spark up another exciting metal debate. On behalf of Kenneth and myself, stay safe and always turn it up to 11.
See ya.